Hello, and welcome to Business Focus, produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. My name is Angela Inzerillo with Impact Business Solutions, and I'm privileged to be a host as we highlight the great work that our local businesses are doing. Welcome to December. I am not exactly sure where the year has gone, but here we are, and I'm very excited for today's show. First up, the familiar Mr. Charles Kapur, the president and CEO of the Reston Chamber, here today to talk to us about Ethics Day, an annual event that the Chamber does in conjunction with South Lakes High School. So if you don't know about it, stick around. Next, I get the pleasure of speaking with Pastor Daniel Park from Restoration Church Reston. He's here today to talk about how working together can impact the community. Oh, how powerful is that? And that, last but not least, Mr. Andy Klaff, the Executive Managing Director of Newmark, here today to talk about how he helps his clients in the complex world of commercial real estate. Let's go meet them. So please welcome my first guest, a very familiar face, the President and CEO of the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Charles Kapur, here today to talk to us about a very important event that the Chamber puts on called Ethics Day. Charles, welcome.
Thank you, Angela. Great to be here. I'm glad to know that my last appearance didn't disqualify me from future appearances. So that's always a plus for me.
Never. This is fantastic to see you. I know I go a little crazy every couple of months if I don't get you on the show. You have, like, the Chamber is in full gear, right? We've got holiday stuff going on. I mean, I can't believe we got through all the events of the fall. We're looking ahead to the new year and the spring. My reign is half over almost, which I cannot believe. So time is flying by. But yeah, Ethics Day, love it.
Yes.
So why don't we, I don't know, for those of you who may not be familiar with this event, why don't you share a little bit of background of it?
Sure. Our next Ethics Day will be our 31st annual iteration of the event. So it's a staple of our community. And, how it got started. I mean, essentially, I get the question all the time about, well, what is a Chamber of Commerce? What do we do?
Yeah.
And big thing that we do is we're part of the community, right? I mean, yes, most of our members are businesses and they're focused on doing business, but they're in the community. Their businesses are here in Reston. Most of them live in Reston. And so 30 years ago, we looked at the youth, we looked at our local high school, South Lakes, and we recognized that those are our future employees.
Yeah.
Those are our future leaders. And we wanted to have a hand in preparing these young adults for life after graduation and what it means and what they're going to be dealing with as they matriculate into the real world. And at least for one day, present them some things and food for thought.
Yeah,
that's
really
really what Ethics Day is all about.
Yeah, I'm 100%. Wow, I didn't realize it was already the 30 years. Yeah. So this year is a little bit different. We've moved it out. Yeah. So why don't we share a little bit about where it is and when it is? So
Sure.
Yeah.
For the last 2 years, we've been virtual, just coming out of the pandemic, but we're so excited that the class of 24 will get to experience the more traditional Ethics Day in person. The event is scheduled for Friday, January 5th. We're very proud to be at the Hyatt Regency in the Reston Town Center. They will be our host.
That's wonderful.
It's a morning event. The students will begin to arrive from South Lakes on site. Around 10 o'clock in the morning is when we'll start the program, and it'll run to about 1:30 to make sure that we have enough time to get the students back to South Lakes for the end of the school day. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take the entire senior class. We're going to break them up into 3 different groups. And in each group, they are going to be presented a different ethical, adult-oriented dilemma and presentation. And then the students will rotate through each one of those presentations until they've gone through all 3. And the topics that we're going to be looking at being a good digital steward, so safe and responsible use of digital social media and how that impacts future career options.
Yeah.
In the second room, we do a play where the students will role play as members of a hospital administrative board. We're going to present them a scenario where there are 5 candidates for one heart in need of a transplant. You're going to hear 5 very different types of people And these students will have to make that sort of ethical dilemma on who gets that valued surgery. And then the third one has to do with a courtroom scene involving drunken hit and run and
Mm,
the different layers of interpersonal relationships. What happens if that's somebody that you know,
yeah.
and how do
Yeah.
you deal with that? What's sort of your ethical and moral obligations in situations like that? So they have the opportunity to hear the presentation, then they break out into smaller groups, and there's group discussion at their tables, and it's just really eye-opening, thought-provoking for these young adults for
Well,
the
I
day.
can tell you as a table leader for many years, it was thought provoking for the table leaders as well. I mean, we're there
Absolutely.
to facilitate really and encourage discussion.
Yeah.
And like you said, make them think. But I can tell you that it was definitely very thought provoking, even for the adults. So,
Without a doubt.
yeah. So, as a volunteer, so what are different ways that members and those watching can get involved with Ethics Day?
Great question. The biggest need is volunteers.
Okay.
So we're taking the entire senior class. That's roughly, just about 500 students will be on site, breaking them up into 3 rooms. And then in each of those rooms, they're going to be broken down into smaller tables to facilitate the discussion you were talking about. And so it takes a lot of adults to be able to just be in their service table leaders, as you talked about, just making sure that encouraging the students to engage in conversations, making sure that everyone is just where they need to be, just simple logistics, right? And so that's our biggest need. It's a great opportunity for business leaders, community residents to be able to interact with these young adults, to have an impact on them. They certainly will have an impact on you. And it's a wonderful morning of volunteerism. So that is our most significant need, is to have folks that are willing to volunteer their day and participate and serve as those table leaders at Ethics Day.
And I know that you could just go to restonchamber.org and there's an event, Ethics Day, to sign up. I believe that's the best way to do it.
Yes, if you go to our events calendar, the Ethics Day sign up is pinned to the top of the event calendar.
Perfect.
So it is the first item there. You can click on that. You can read a little more detail on what exactly is entailed with the volunteer needs, and then you can register. Once you register, the chamber staff will coordinate a little bit of training, which is just watch a
Yeah.
quick video to know what you need to do.
Yeah, very,
And you're
very
set.
simple. That's awesome. And I'm sure you wouldn't deny any sponsorships. So there's probably sponsor opportunities for
There are
business.
sponsorship opportunities for our businesses that want to have that branding presence and want to invest in this program, which is so meaningful to the community. Yes, we'd love to have corporate sponsorships. Information about those opportunities are also pinned to that event tab on our event calendar regarding Ethics Day.
As well as current sponsors. Well, that's
Absolutely.
fantastic. Well, Charles, as always, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here and
Thank you,
sharing
Angela.
about, I can't believe 2024, but here we are.
We're here. It's coming. We never got the message that you're supposed to slow down as you get to the end of the year. We're running like a freight train, and we'll pick up even more momentum in 24. And I'm looking forward to next time I can pop in and talk to you.
We will definitely look at the calendar and get you aboard. Listen, you can take Christmas off. You can take that day and then New Year's. So you got a couple of days you can take off. All right, my friend. Great to see you. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Angela.
So please welcome my next guest, Pastor Daniel Park with the Restoration Church of Reston. Daniel, welcome.
Oh, hi. Thank you so much for having me.
It is a pleasure to have you. You are a recent chamber member. So welcome,
Yes.
welcome. The first one to raise their hand at the prospective member breakfast. And I'm like, you're on my show. I'm very excited to be here.
I was just really inspired and feeling like, hey, this is a really great way to connect and just be in the community.
Absolutely. And we're going to be saying connect and community a lot in this conversation. So yeah, let's get
I think so.
started.
Yeah.
So I have to know your background, right? So it's Pastor Daniel Park. So what is a little bit about your background and how did you get to Reston? Because you're not originally a Restonian, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I've been a pastor for 21 years now. I was born in New Jersey. I was raised in New York City. And then after I got married to my wife, she also happens to be a pastor. We moved to Chicago. We were there for 7 years. We started a new church and all that, and
nice.
then moved to Northern Virginia area in 2015. So I've been in Northern Virginia since 2015, but came to Reston, Restoration Reston Church in 2021. So fairly new to the Reston community, but really excited and we're part of the United Methodist Church. So what happens is the pastors get sent to their different places of work. And so July
Appointed,
2021,
as you will.
appointed. Yeah, the word is appointed. We got appointed by our bishop. And so in July of 2021, I was sent to Restoration Church. And so it's been fun. It's been so exciting to be in Reston and really be part of a church that cares about Reston.
And the community. Yeah. And I like the word
Oh
fun.
yeah.
It sounds like you guys have a lot of fun, and you don't
We
associate
do.
church with fun all the time, right? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's
Well,
me.
you know, it's I have to admit, yes, you know, the word fun and church are not always directly connected to each other,
Yeah.
but you know, I like to have fun, and I think Restoration Church, our folks, we really love to have fun too, and we see that the journey that we're on together is full of lots of fun, and being in the community, serving the community, whatever work that we do is something that's really should be a delight. I'm of the opinion that um, believing in God and having a spiritual life should be exciting,
Yeah.
and it is to me. So it's fun.
And you're doing
Yeah.
great things. So let's talk a little bit more about your mission and
Yeah.
vision, because I know it involves a lot in the community, and
Sure.
that's, people that are watching, how they can get engaged and involved. So yeah, a little bit more about your mission and vision.
Yeah. So, I mean, our vision is that, and I say this every Sunday during our weekly worship services, I say, our vision is that, we choose to be a vital Christ-centered community for all people in the community. So, and every word of that phrase really matters to us. We want to be vital, meaning that we want to be alive and growing and increasing in our movement, in our own individual lives, our families, our communities. We're a church. It's about Jesus. That's part of it's important that of what we believe, but also how we follow what we believe about Jesus. But also that it's for all people. It's not for a select group of people. We think that if you're spiritually curious, or whether you've been not really involved in church, or never involved in church, or you've been in church all your life for decades on end, that wherever you are, that there is a point of entry. There's an engagement point. Even if you're in disagreement with Christian beliefs, there is a space for that too.
Sure.
And so it's for all people and the community, that we want to be a church that's really connected to the community and be relevant, and we care. So all of that.
All of it. I mean, how would you say that you serve the community? Because I see all these events that you do, but it just sounds, you're at South Lake, so you're involved. I mean, you're existing there. So what other ways on the community do you serve?
Well, we just did this little look back to the last year, and talked with our congregation about this. And it's really exciting. Over the last 52 weeks, we've done over 34 different community service events and projects throughout the last year. And for our congregation to do that, that was such a huge celebration. That means almost every week, right? Almost every week we're doing something aside from our worship services. We're involved with schools, like obviously with South Lakes High School. There's Terracet Elementary right next door. There's also Hunters Woods Elementary School. And we're still involved with helping and connected to Forest Edge Elementary, where we started. But just to highlight a few things, like the South Lakes High School Food Pantry, which is the congregation just loves the food pantry. At any time I ask for support, whether it's donations of food, essential items, or even financial contributions, it's one of the easiest asks. The congregation just comes around and says, yes. In fact, we do a monthly collection for the food pantry. Nice. We volunteer. There are groups of people who volunteer and help with the distribution days on Thursdays. For all the schools I've mentioned, we've done staff teacher appreciation things. We do packaging events for teachers and staff, and we intentionally choose not Teachers Appreciation Week. We've done that, but it's like when people least expect it, right? Yeah. It's like we want staff and teachers to truly be appreciated. They show up on a Monday morning, and boom, in their mailbox, nice. So special. There's a little thing, a little note, a little treat or something that just says, "Hey, we're thinking of you." Yeah. And thank you for being a hero. Or we think about students in need, and connected with staff persons at each of these schools, that if there's a need for a student or family or certain groupings of the community within the school, they know to reach out to us, and know that we will do our best to respond as quickly as we can, and do what we can. And it's not just providing essential items or supplies. Like Recently with Terrace Elementary, they had a parents' night for families where English is a second language. And connected to that is the lack of childcare. So parents are oftentimes unable to participate. And if they bring their kids, then it's very distracting. So the staff coordinator there reached out to us, and we just came around and did a kids program so that parents could just be there and figure out what do their kids need. And so just thinking about all the ways that we can do it with schools. We're partnering with Cornerstones. I serve on the board of Cornerstones as well. And we partner with our Flores campus. Flores United Methodist Church is the church that started Restoration Church. And in our partnership with Flores, we provided seed funds to recently help launch their latest project, the Free from Hunger Center up in Sterling. That was a huge thing.
That was huge,
Yeah, and so excited. We do this year to year. We're one of the partners with Cornerstones, Embry Rucker Shelter. We get involved with that. There's Core Foundation. And through Core Foundation, they have Reston Pride, Sprint Triathlon, Reston Triathlon. They have their annual gala. And there's the Lake Ann community events. All the things that the Reston Museum does, Bricks by the Lake, Cardboard Boat Regatta, Jingle on the Lake that just happened last weekend. We're there doing write letters to Santa. We want kids to write letters to Santa. And you know what? The kids get a letter back.
I love it.
Santa writes back.
You know,
and
he does exist, you know. So
we write, and so they get the letters back that, just a way to connect and say we care about what you care about. And then there's Reston Pride that happens every June. We're there, we're present. We try to get involved and be supportive financially as well as with volunteers. And then there's urgent requests that just come our way. We had this emergency request to help a unhoused family move into their first home. That's exciting. When you can help a family do that. And they were looking for help with a moving company. We said, we have a truck. We're going to come with a bunch of guys and we're just going to move your whole thing and help them set up. And we did all that. And that's something that we do because we care.
And it's so unique to the needs of the community. And that's what you're saying. You're serving the community. And as these opportunities come up, there you guys are. So as we wrap up here, and I know time flies, with these interviews, but I wanted to share like a second on an experience. Cause again, we talked a little about fun at your church, but there's also, the serious side. So what can someone expect kind of going to your services?
Well, we have one worship service, 10 a.m. on Sundays at South Lakes High School. And, we have this tagline, you be you, come as you are.
I love it.
Just be authentic, come, you don't have to, like some people say, do I have to wear a suit? No, it's fine. Just please wear clothes.
No pajamas.
Just come as you are. There's a lot of races that happen out of South Lakes High School. So if you ran and you want to come back and you want to just come as you are, that's fine.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Come grab a cup of coffee. We have coffee, tea, hot chocolate. We have pastries. Come, just grab that. Come in and connect with people. Grab a name tag.
Nice.
A lot of people come early just to connect. And come inside afterwards to the auditorium. There's inspirational music. We really try to give relevant messages that are helpful for your daily life and your faith life. And we also have a way to connect to serve the community all the time. And so come as you are, and come with your questions, come with your doubts, come with you're spiritually curious. That's fine. If you're looking for an opportunity to have a church experience, that's all that, that's who we are. And it's exciting and you're welcome. Anybody's welcome.
I really appreciate it. Daniel, it has been fabulous having you on today and sharing what you guys are doing. I'm excited that you're part of the community. Welcome to Reston. I'm excited you're part of the chamber, and I look forward to learning more. So what's the best way for people to learn more and support you guys?
Restorationreston.org is our website. We are on Facebook as well. There's a lot of things that get posted there.
Oh, perfect.
We have Christmas Eve coming up, 10 a.m. Worship. And we have an event called Theology on Tap, January 30th, 7 p.m., Lake Ann Brew House. It's going to be exciting. So that's another way to support us.
You may see me at one or two of those. Well, sir, thank you again so much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy holidays.
Same to you. Blessings.
Thank you. So please welcome my next guest, Mr. Andy Klaff, the Executive Managing Director of Newmark. Andy, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It is so excited to have you. Thank you for serving on the board of the Reston Chamber and under my reign and being a good steward of the chamber.
You're not wearing your crown, but
I am not. No, because this is about you today, you and Newmark. Yeah, so I'm excited to have you here and talk about Newmark. I don't think we've done this. I know you've probably been on the show before, but I'm excited to kind of feature what you guys are up to. So share a little bit about your background and how you got there. I don't even know how long you've been with them.
well, I've been with Newmark. This will be coming up on my 8th year.
Wow. Okay.
However, I've been in the business for a very long time. I've been here doing real estate in Northern Virginia for 30 years.
Wow.
So it's been a few companies here or there, but each one has been a fairly long stint. So I'm excited to be at Newmark, all the services they provide. And but I've been doing the same thing pretty much since I got out of college. And I like to think that I'm doing it better now. So.
Of course. Well, you live, you learn is what they say, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So share more about what are the services that Newmark offers primarily.
Well, Newmark offers a ton of services. Not that I specialize in those.
Right.
But pretty much anything that it relates to commercial real estate. So that's office, industrial, data center, multifamily housing, land, and then however you can, whatever services come from all those things. So they can provide investor services that would include landlord representation, which is something that I do, capital markets, which is the sale and financing of buildings and other projects. We also include property management, government leasing, land sales, everything that's involved in kind of the full cycle of real estate. We provide tenant representation services as well. That's representing of corporate clients, and that comes with other services like project management, which is advisory services for the construction of space, workplace strategy solutions, everything, consulting. I mean, you name it, we have everything. We have 15,000 employees worldwide. So chances are, if you need some service, we have that expertise.
And you service clients like all size? Corporate?
Yes, we do. And, I don't do it alone here in Northern Virginia. I have a big team. My team personally is a 4-person team handling marketing services, leasing, sales to corporate clients. We also have investor services that represent owners of real estate in their, developing and executing a strategy to lease up an office building. And we really focus on Class A office buildings in and around Northern Virginia. On the corporate side, we'll work with companies anywhere. We're doing a deal right now in San Antonio, and we've done deals in Denver, Colorado Springs, LA, Miami, New York City, wherever our clients want us, we will go. So I mean, it's sometimes we team with other brokers in our other offices, so we want that local expertise, and usually we do that because we expect them to come into our market to use one of us as well.
Absolutely. And you are focused on Northern Virginia, you said?
That's primarily my focus. So on the investor services side, we have about 40 buildings from Old Town Alexandria, Arlington, Tysons, Merrifield, a bunch in Reston, a bunch in Herndon, Dulles, and really a lot of concentration in Chantilly. So we handle all those buildings for a bunch of owners, both institutional and entrepreneurial. And then on the corporate side, we represent companies anywhere, and they have unique needs, whether it's a warehouse need, SCIF, which is a secured space, office, wherever they need, we'll bring and build a team around them to service their needs. Like I said, a lot of those groups take us to other parts of the country, and even internationally.
Well, it sounds like you guys can address all the different type of challenges that these organizations have. And you've been a member of the Reston Chamber forever.
Forever. And by the way, so I've been on Business Focus a number of times.
Okay.
But usually from my efforts leading the virtual realty tour.
That's right.
A number of years ago. I think we started that in 2000. I think we stopped that in like 2013 or 14 or so.
Oh, I remember many years of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been involved and ingrained with doing lots of things, whether it was membership or that program, or Innovation Council, or whatever. We've tried to help, and sponsors of all sorts of things here now too. So we are a sponsor of a
Yes.
number of events and kind of but your annual sponsor. So of at
So
some
you
level.
guys are, yeah, you're great supporters, but it makes sense for you, obviously, from a community perspective, right? I mean, I would imagine that would be the primary reason.
Absolutely. First of all, I also live in Reston, so that's. I
Oh,
mean,
there you go. Hey.
yeah. So it's a near and dear to my heart. I have a lot of business that's in the Dulles Toll Road area, so that's why I focus there. Now, there's a lot of other chambers that I could, support, but I've chosen to put all my time and effort and hang my flag with the Reston Chamber.
And that we thank you. And hopefully you get that return. But you're right. It is all about, working and living. I just interviewed Charles too about the upcoming Ethics Day. But you were just part of the Jingle Mingle holiday party that we talked about last month. But thank you for supporting that. But yeah, if you're living and working and playing in Reston, you've got to be a member of the chamber, right? So it's all about community.
It is, and I've made my kids go to the Jingle Mingle every now and then. So yeah, I mean, it's a family affair. It's been important for me. Like, I feel like since I'm a Reston resident, I wanted to get involved in Reston, and there was no better way than the Reston Chamber.
Oh, that's great. Well, Andy, it's great to see you as always. How can people contact you?
Yes, you can contact me at andy.klaff@nmrk.com, or my cell phone number, always on 703-624-7135.
All right, we'll make sure that scrolls up so everybody gets the right spelling. Klaff, Klaff.
Yes.
Oh, fabulous to see you as always. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Great, Angela. Always fun. Thank you for inviting me onto your wonderful show.
My pleasure. Well, there you have it. Another fabulous business focus produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to my guests that stopped by today to share their stories. Charles Kapur from the Reston Chamber, sharing all about Ethics Day in conjunction with South Lakes High School and how we're developing the workforce of tomorrow. If you're interested in volunteering, certainly let us know. I will be there and hope to see you. And then Daniel Park, Pastor Dan. What a great story. So church can actually impact the community and be fun. Loved sharing their story. And then Andy, love seeing Mr. Klaff. If you have any interest in learning more about commercial real estate, I'm sure he'll share that with you. And thank you to Newmark for being such a great sponsor. And thank you to you for watching this show. And it's been a wonderful 2023. And I look forward to seeing you next year.